Let me tell you something most people don't realize until years go by. Your income, your confidence, your business, your relationships, they're not decided in some dramatic moment. They're decided in the first hour after you open your eyes in the morning. And I don't mean that in some hustle, wake up at 4 a.m. or you're a failure kind of way. I mean energetically, identity-wise, financially. When your alarm goes off tomorrow morning, who's in charge? Is it you? Or is it comfort, the snooze button, the scroll, the I'll start next week voice? Because that small decision, that quiet, invisible decision, sets the tone for everything that follows. And here's what I've noticed after 30 years in business. The difference between someone building wealth and someone constantly feeling behind, it's not intelligence, it's not talent, it's not luck. It's how they start their day. Most people wake up and immediately go into reaction mode. Phone, email, news, social media, other people's agenda. That's not a morning routine. That's a morning emergency. And when you start your day reacting, you spend the rest of your day catching up to yourself. Now here's where things get interesting, especially if you care about money. Your bank account reflects your nervous system. If your mornings are chaotic, your finances will feel chaotic. But if your mornings are intentional, your money starts to flow differently. Not magically, mechanically. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. If you can't direct your first 30 minutes, it's really hard to direct your financial life. And I learned this the hard way. There were seasons when I was busy, working, trying, grinding, but internally scattered, all over the place. My mornings were rushed. My thoughts were reactive. My energy was already drained before 9 a.m. And guess what? My income reflected that. When I shifted my mornings, everything shifted. Not overnight, but predictably. Because here's the truth most people miss. You don't earn more by doing more. You earn more by becoming more. And becoming happens in the quiet, not the chaos. The morning is the command center. It's where you decide, am I living on purpose or am I living on autopilot? Am I building or growing my business or am I managing my stress? Am I directing my thoughts or am I inheriting them from the world? Here's my advice, especially to entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs. Before you check your phone, check your vision. Before you check your email, check your identity. Before you check the world, check yourself. Because if you let the world set the emotional tone, you'll spend your whole day solving problems instead of creating value. And money flows to value creators, not stress reactors. Let me make this practical. You don't need a 2-hour ritual. You don't need a cold plunge. You don't need perfection. You need 30 intentional minutes. 30. Wake up, no phone. Sit with your thoughts. Ask, who am I becoming today? Not what do I have to do. Who am I becoming? Disciplined, calm, focused, abundant, responsible, courageous, because your actions follow identity. Then review your goals, not once a year, daily. Your brain needs direction. Otherwise, it defaults to survival. And survival mode never builds wealth. Next, move your body, or journal, or read something strengthening. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Because if you start your day with fear, you make fear-based decisions. If you start your day in scarcity, you make scarcity-based moves. But if you start your day with an intention, you make leadership decisions. And leadership is what builds businesses. Leadership is what builds your dreams. Here's the part nobody talks about. When you keep promises to yourself in the morning, you build trust. And self-trust is the foundation of financial confidence. You can't build or scale a business if you don't trust yourself. You cannot raise your prices if you don't respect yourself. You cannot handle more income if you can't handle your own word. That starts when the alarm goes off. And this is what makes structure so important. Money doesn't like chaos. It likes clarity. And clarity starts at sunrise. I've seen it over and over again. The entrepreneur who can't get organized financially usually has disorganized mornings. The person who says, "I'm bad with money," often doesn't control their own attention. This isn't about shame. It's about ownership. Because the good news, you get to rewrite it tomorrow morning. You don't need to change your whole life. You need to change your first 30 minutes. 30 minutes a day is 180 hours a year. That's a full month of full-time self-development while everyone else is scrolling. That's how identities shift. That's how businesses grow. That's how the phoenix rises. One quiet, consistent decision at a time. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, protect your morning like it's prime real estate. No emergency mode, no chaos, no unconscious scrolling. Wake up, choose your thoughts, choose your identity, choose your direction. Then act on the 3 things that matter most before noon. Do that for 30 days, and you won't recognize your confidence. You won't recognize your clarity. And yes, you won't recognize your financial life, because success isn't built in dramatic moments. It's built in disciplined mornings. And tomorrow morning, you get to begin again. Follow me for grounded money guidance that you can trust.